Now I want to introduce Bill Banta. This is a start of a new build along for us, one of Banta Models kits. And I think you're really going to enjoy this one. It's a beautiful kit. Bill, welcome.
Thank you. So if you notice, I'm on there in two spots. So I'm going to go back to the shop and start in on it. I'm using my iPhone in the other room to see how that works. So I'll give it a shot. Oh, there you go. Right. See you in the other room.
Okay.
Right. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to get started on Duncan's boots. There's the kit right there. I'm going to do the O scale version. I do have it available in HO, maybe S scale. I'm not sure. Can't remember. O scale and F scale, 120.3. Well, essentially the kit comes with some instructions, real handy. And there should be 4 bags of parts. And I tend to bag the parts, usually the inner box parts, the inner frame will be in a separate bag, windows, doors, trims, and so forth, another bag, roof and strip wood in one bag, and then last bag has got the siding and so forth on it. So we'll start with the inner frame. I've got one made up here, but I'll just run through this really quickly. So what I'll do is take the floor, and I'll usually start with a wall that will insert into the floor, into some slots, okay? Now the instructions may not say that. I'm just doing it here as I see best. Anyways, I'll add a sidewall, hold it together, and then using some blue tape or masking tape of some kind, just tape the edges to hold everything in place. Right, there we go. Once I've got that together, we got this one already done. I'll take my glue and start running beads along the inside of all the joints. Okay. And that's enough to hold everything together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the back shed, and that's still on a carrier seat. So finding a stray razor blade, I'll cut through some of these tabs. And sometimes you can just cut through one on one side of the part and then just pull it up like that, and it'll just snap right off. And so then take an emery board, just kind of sand off the nubs. And that part should fit in there. It's a little bit snug on the back wall. Usually it should press right in, but if it's really tight, what I'll do then is just kind of sand off the back of the tab a little bit. The material usually comes through usually at the 1/16 of an inch thick, but it can vary. So sometimes you get a spot that's a piece that's a little bit thicker than the rest of it, so it doesn't necessarily fit in the slot as well. But there you go. So I'll add that piece there. I'm going to add a bit of tape on the back here because it was snapping out a bit. I'll add another one here. And the key is to make sure all the joints are good and tight. And add some glue. And I tend not to be frugal with the glue. Get plenty in there. That way it'll stick together. And that's the basic structure right there. On the front, we've got a little alcove here, so let's get that done.
Bill, I got to tell you, that's probably the easiest building I've ever seen go together.
All our kits are that way. Well, some are a bit more intense, but this is a fairly simple structure here. All of our kits have got this interior structure. It just really gives you a really good base to build on to add your siding to, especially if you've got wainscoting along the bottom and maybe some vertical siding at the top or clapboard, something like that. It just makes a world of difference. So this piece here has got a little arrow etched into it. So we'll see if it fits here on the left. Yeah, it does. How about that? I'm not referring to the drawings that I've got in the instructions because I've done this once or twice. So I'm going to assume that the reason I put those little arrows in means it goes to the front. We'll find out in a minute when I put the back piece on. Oops. Glue on the wrong side. This is live, folks.
And it's going to be there forever because the video isn't edited.
There you go. Yeah, no worries. All right, so I'm going to set this back piece in. And work it in place. Get all the tabs tight while they fall out. There we go. So it's loosely put together. I'm going to add glue to the bottom parts. So glue will start setting up. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to these tabs on the flats, just to basically hold that. And then on that little assembly, this piece fits in over the top. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully it'll fit. I'm going to sand off the tab a little bit, make it a little bit thinner. So it has to fit into here from the inside. And I'm doing it from the inside so you can't see it in case I screw it up. There you go. So the top tab of that inner doorway is a bit tight. There it goes. It just snapped into place. So then I'll put a little bit of glue on here. Get that set. So we're going to let that set and dry. What I'm going to do is turn you over that way, and we're going to stain the siding pieces. And I'll explain that as I go through it. Right. So what I've got mixed up here is grimy black, right? From True Color. So I mix up a stain, which is kind of a stock stain. And I like to stain all my sheet wood ahead of time with grimy black. It just seems to give a good finish in the end. And using the appropriate thinner with that paint, what I like about this, it is a solvent-based thinner. It dries well, it doesn't warp the wood, and gives me the good results. Now the sides of this building will stay a naturally weathered, have a naturally weathered appearance like that, and the front is going to be painted. I may paint the sides too, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll finish that up next week. But what I'm going to do right now is give you a quick walkthrough. We'll see how this works. We'll set the camera into the Osmo here. Bear with me. Up there. Hang on. Let me just redo that a second. That didn't come out so well. Right, so we're going to take a quick tour. Here's our lasers, got 3 of them. This is the cutting area in the shop. Wood materials up above. On the other side, strip wood's up on the top, and this is kind of the assembly table where I put all the cut parts ready to assemble into kits. Right over next to that is the work table where all the supplies live. And every once in a while, I'll actually build something. So we'll walk over into the fun area. And sitting over here, got a little shade locomotive. I apologize, I'm showing off a bit. But what would a shade be? Oh, hang on. Let me turn the air on. There we go.
Isn't that something?
Been working on this for a while. So this is a 7.5 or 7.25 inch gauge, 2.5 inch scale, 2-cylinder Shay. So this is my this is the other half of the shop is sort of a machine shop. I've got a CNC lathe right here. It's fun. On the other side, that's a manual milling machine, and right next to it is a CNC mill. You know, just toys. And over here, manual lathe. And we'll go out into the dark area. Turn the light on. And then this is the ON3 layout. Well, it's a big diorama, let's put it that way. And as we come around the corner here, we see Duncan boots sitting here.
Yeah.
And eventually, well, this one's finished. It'll be sitting in this place when I get the scenery done. We got a couple other buildings here that are coming along. This one right here is going to be basically a diner with a convenience store, grocery store next to it, and bus stop. Out behind here is I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to manufacture wood products of some kind. And so these two will be out in the next couple of months. But it's a wood products company because this is a logging railroad and got to do something with all that lumber. And there you go. That's the tour. Back to you.
Bill, thanks so very much for sharing all that with us. I'd never seen your layout before. I'd heard about it, but I'd never seen it before. And the shade that you showed us, that's just fantastic modeling.
Well, thank you. That's yeah, that's going to be a fun project when it's done. I hope to get it out. Hope to get it on the track this summer.
I tell you, when you do, I hope you'll come back and show us a little bit about the operation of it, because I think that would be something really to see.
Yep, we'll do that. So,
all right. So see you next week.
Yep.